Good afternoon. Welcome to TVC Live, our special series. We are currently on day 10. Holy moly. What's cooking, how and what to cook on the road and at camp. Remember, this series is being brought to you by some super awesome resources that I've been really digging into the last 30, maybe even 40 days now. And all the tips coming at you today are by the Family Camping Handbook, Real Food in the Big Woods. So I'm really excited to dig into this. We are talking about food today. And remember, all these resources we're talking about, that handbook we're going to be referencing today is all part of the Smart Travel Super Bundle. And if you can't tell by this awesome arrow over here, I'm wicked stoked to offer it to you guys. It's only 3 days left in the sale. You can get it for $47. We'll talk more about that at the end of the little episode here. If you are watching live, if you are watching the replay, put hashtag excited for me. Let me know you're watching. I see a couple people watching right now. Hello. I thought this cute little Pooh Bear gif would be appropriate today since we're talking about food. We're talking about cooking. I'm excited about it, so let's get into it. Tip number 1 is try cooking over a fire. So I know when we're RVing, there's this great debate. Is RVing really camping? What constitutes camping? But I say if you're RVing, even as a full-timer, you should try cooking over a fire. Try to have that camp feel. It's so fun. I know every time we cook over a fire, it might not be the most amazing meal because we don't do it consistently. We're not pros. But it's the most amazing meal in that it just feels so accomplished. I love that campfire taste. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Sorry, folks. I'm not feeling good this week. I just love that taste. I love that I've made a meal on a fire like a real man, real woman, and it's just super fun. So I do have a couple little mini tips in here. I'll just go through quick for you. So the first tip you need to know about when you're trying to cook over a campfire is that you want hot coals over flames. Flames, that's not good. That's going to catch something on fire. So you want to start a fire, let it burn for a while. Remember, the longer the fire's been burning, the hotter your coals are going to be. And then when it starts simmering, or when you let it simmer and you have that nice hot coals, that's when you want to start cooking. Your second tip, stay on your toes. This is not your propane stove. This isn't even your electric stovetop here. You want to stay on your toes. Flames, coals, the temperature can vary greatly, especially if you're cooking burgers, pancakes, stuff like that. You want to keep an eye on it and make sure things are getting actually cooked, nothing's getting on fire, etc. And that brings me to my next point here. Woo, I got lots of bugs in my RV today. I left the door open. Sorry. Anyway, hashtag RV life, guys. You want to invest in some gloves. Like I said, you need to stay on your toes. Those coals are going to be wicked hot. Invest in some leather gloves, something like that, in case something does fall over the coals. You've got to reach your hand in for a second. You want to make sure you have those safe fireproof gloves. All right, let's get into tip 2. If you're watching, say hello. All right. Tip number 2, plan your meals on travel days to avoid too much junk. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, if you've watched any of the last 9 days, I'm not the best at planning, but this is something that I always try to make a priority. On travel days, I want to make sure I'm not eating junk food. I'm not going to the rest stop, the gas station, whatever, and just grabbing a bag of chips and eating. I want to make sure that I've got healthy meals. I don't feel sluggish by the time I get to camp and we have to set up, because chances are on a travel day, something's going to go wrong. It's going to make you frustrated. You get stuck in traffic. You get a flat tire. You have to pull over too many times. Something's going to go wrong no matter what, whether it's minor or major. So you want to make sure that you've fueled your body with good food and not junk. You know, like, yeah, sure, have a couple bites of chips, get a soda pop, whatever. But you don't want to be eating that all day. So make sure you plan. This is what I do. So I plan to stop at rest areas where I can put out my slide just a little bit, if that's what you need to do. I can actually cook without my slide out, but I like to put it out just a little bit so I can grab utensils and such. Just put my slide out just a little bit so I can cook comfortably. I can make us some eggs, bacon, whatever, make a sandwich, get back on the road. It's so much easier than trying to find a place where you can park, maybe going to the travel center, you know, like a Love's, etc., where you have to, you know, go in, buy a burger, whatever, you feel like crap, then you're stuck in traffic, you feel like crap again. Just plan your meals on travel days to avoid too much junk, and it's just going to make you feel so much better when you get to camp. Tip 3, cook outside as much as possible. Yes, Unknown Normal is saying hi. Hey guys. Cook outside as much as possible. Yes, I highly recommend this. I know actually one guy that had literally never cooked inside his RV until he took his sister with him on a road trip, which I thought was a little strange. But if you can cook outside, I highly recommend it, especially in warmer temperatures. We live in an RV that's about 200 square feet, and so it can get hot really fast when I'm cooking burgers, veggies, you know, a 3-course meal. It gets so hot. So as much as possible, I love to cook outside. If you say, oh, I don't have a table, I don't have this. If you have the room and the ability to buy a table or and a small grill, I highly, highly recommend it. Yes, Unknown Normal says we always try to cook outside because inside makes the RV hot. It sure does. And if you don't know anything about Unknown Normal, they do a lot of boondocking, so I'm sure they're not running their AC like crazy. And also, it gives it more of that campground feel. Again, the great debate is RVing, camping. I think when you cook outside, it really just gives you that more peaceful campground feel, camp vibes, as Instagram would say. You know, you're outside, you have a little more room, a little more prep area, you know, when you invest in that table or you go to a campsite with a campground table. Picnic table, I think most people call it, not a campground table. Yeah, I just love cooking outside. It's one of the things that made me really fall in love with RVing. I know as a kid, we used to do that all the time. We would cook outside in the summertime. And when we started RVing and I could do that year round, that's really what made me fall in love with RVing. All right, so remember, all of these tips today were brought to you by this little book right here, the Family Camping Handbook. And what comes with it is more than just these tips are like 100 recipes. I don't know if it's 100. Please don't quote me on that. Don't buy it and say, Liz, there were only 80 recipes. But there's pages and pages of recipes. I just put out a little bit here. She's got tips for camping, all of this stuff in this handbook. And she's even got meal, like a template or like a mock schedule of how you can eat while you're camping, while you're traveling, and I love that. And remember, there's all sorts of different resources in there. They are worth more than $1,200, and you can get them for only $47 until Friday. It really is a steal. All right, so tomorrow we're going to talk, I Believe I Can Fly, taking a vacation from RVing, and we're going to talk all about some other travel tips for flying, leaving your RV, etc. Because, you know, sometimes you don't want to travel in the RV. You want to go overseas, or, you know, you want to make it from New England to Southern California in just a couple days, you know. How can we do that? I want to share some money-saving tips and things like that tomorrow with you. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you're finding anything nice about these, don't be afraid to share. Sharing is caring. It really helps put it out there for more people to see. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you back here tomorrow for day 11.